How would you do on an IFR Low Enroute quiz? What is happening, MzeroA Nation? Jason Schappert here, and last week we looked at VFR sectional charts. This week it's all about IFR Low Enroute charts. Before we get into that, hey, if you are needing help on charts, check ride, written, just being that safe real-world pilot, will you check out our #1 rated online ground school by heading over to MzeroAtrial.com. Take a free 2-week trial, no strings attached, no credit card needed. Check it out and see if MzeroA is the right online ground school for you. Private, instrument, commercial, FOI, CFI. We've got you covered with all of that. Hey, last week, by the way, I read every comment, so thank you for the kind words. Thank you for just everything you put in those comments. I literally read every single one on the VFR video. I'll do the same on this video, so do leave me a comment again. 2 comments really stood out to me, and I want to point them out. So can we start, with your permission, on the VFR chart? One of our great, actually, online ground school members reached out with this one. Check this out real quick. First off, you see our special flight rules area, but zoom in here to Old Whiskey 29. Do you see Whiskey 29 here? Now, I have a question for you. Looking at Whiskey 29, what does this mean to you here? Do you see this star RP? What does that mean to you? Well, if you said right pattern, you're not correct, but you're not incorrect either. Let me show you an example here. And before we leave this, let me clear this out real quick. Let me show you something. Star RP. Yes, RP means right pattern, but it actually means special conditions exist for this airport regarding right traffic. A more traditional right pattern, one I can think of quickly, like down here, look at Marco Island real quick for me here. Look at Marco Island. Marco Island has RP for, and then they list the runway. Right pattern for runway 35. Do you follow me? Star RP, well, what does that mean? Again, it means special conditions exist. So we said it was, what was it? It was Whiskey 29, is that correct? Sounds about right, there we go. So now we look, we have star RP, what does that mean? Well, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna say, okay, I need to dig into this a little bit more. I'm gonna look at our US chart supplement, formerly called the Airport Facilities Directory. I'm gonna go to the airport remarks. It says, attended Monday through Saturday, Sunday unattended, wildlife in the vicinity of the airport, self-serve 24 hours, the credit card, touch and go landings, not happening, right? Here's our point. Alert heli 8 miles east of airport, rotorcraft. Use right traffic pattern for runway 29. It doesn't say Jason and 23 Mike Zulu. It doesn't say, you flying that Citation Mustang, and I hope you invite me along for that. Use it. No, it says rotorcraft. Use right traffic pattern for 29. At all other times, use a left traffic pattern. So going back to our sectional chart, is there right traffic? Well, there is for a certain category of aircraft on a certain runway. When you see a star RP, special conditions exist for that airport regarding to the traffic pattern. And what the online ground school member mentioned is someone saw this, assumed every runway is right pattern because it just said RP, and they almost had a mid-air collision not too terribly long ago because someone was on right traffic when they should have been on left traffic, and they literally almost had a mid-air collision at this airport. Do you understand the importance of doing your research on this? Another interesting one someone brought up. It is 82 Juliet. 82, check this out. This was so fascinating to me. This is in Florida too. 82 Juliet was really cool. Look at this Class Charlie cutout. Is that not fascinating? Like, I'm used to seeing a Class Charlie cutout where it's just that, like they would just make the cutout like this. But look how they finished off the pie, right? They made it this whole pie for Roscoe Field here. Now, what does that mean? Well, look, excludes airspace below 700 feet, as you can see. And then actually, if you look at Roscoe Field, I'm already gearing up for Oshkosh here, you can see here. If we look at Roscoe Field, and we go and we can read perhaps some of the comments and such and the remarks for this airport, reading on down. Look at this note here. VFR departures north remain below 700 feet MSL until over the Perdido Bay. Do not fly over Softly Field, probably pronouncing these wrong. Do not climb above 1,400 feet MSL until no longer below the Class Charlie airspace. This is a part of your pre-flight planning. Taking the time doing the research and learning what's along my route of flight. What are the special conditions that exist at my airport? What are the weird remarks, the weird Class Charlie cutouts, the weird star RPs, these sort of things. All right, now on to our featured program. Now on our IFR Low Enroute charts, and hopefully some VFR people stuck around to still watch this. IFR Low Enroute. Let's look at it here together. Let me clear that annotation because I'll wonder what that is one day. All right, let's look here. Let's do something interesting. Let's go down to Tampa St. Pete. I got this flag with a star. I'd assume most IFR pilots know what this is. There's a minimum crossing altitude. But for what? I mean, I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Look at all these IFR routes that go into the St. Petersburg VOR. Is it a minimum crossing altitude for all of those routes? No, you need to go to the VOR and you need to see MCA. It's only for Victor 97. In fact, it's only for Victor 97 at 3,600 feet if you're heading northwest on Victor 97. So where's Victor 97? Here's Victor 97. So it's if I'm heading northwest on Victor 97. Why? I always ask myself why. Why is there a minimum crossing altitude? There's almost always a minimum crossing altitude because there's a higher MEA or something like that, or obstacles coming up. Minimum crossing altitudes are not put there just for fun. So what is happening ahead in the northwest direction? You think it's Florida. What terrain could there be? Well, let's follow Victor 97. All of a sudden, Victor 97, you can see how the MEA is jumping in that direction. 6,000, but 2,100 the other way. And we keep heading up Victor 97, but if we zoom out, we realize, oh, you're going pretty far out over the Gulf of Mexico. They want you at a higher altitude. That's why we have the minimum crossing altitude. Even though there's no terrain here, it's probably more so for that upcoming MEA. They want you higher for safety, higher for reception, everything else. Speaking of reception, let's look at this. Why is this 289 crossed out here? What does that actually mean? Well, anytime you don't know what something means, usually look around and find some remarks. If you look a little bit over here, the Cross City, radial 289, you're saying, well, radial 289, well, that's Victor 521. Yes, but remember, these are the radials that radiate out from the VOR, is unusable beyond 60 nautical miles. And you can see that reflected. Compare these MEAs, 2,000, 2,000, 5,000. Well, where does Victor 521 go? Again, it goes way out over the Gulf to the intersection you hear about a lot. It's called Heaven Intersection. They always say proceed direct heaven. It's a good thing, but it's way out there, right? If you have an engine failure, you might be going to heaven with an engine failure way out there. But you can see the higher MEA that reflects that. One more other important thing to point out, I always found this so funny. I just spent, as a private pilot, let's say, 20 years ago now, more, I spent all this time learning a VFR sectional chart. And and magenta's Class Charlie and dashed blue, it's my deltas. I learned all this stuff, right? And then they hand me a low enroute chart after my checker. I go, learn this now. I'm like, I just kind of figured this chart out. Now you're giving me a new chart. And by the way, not just a new chart, but now my Charlies are a weird blue dashed line. I thought deltas were a weird blue dashed line. Well, they are on the VFR chart, not on your IFR chart. And now my Bravo is just a solid blue, right? And my deltas, well, what do my deltas look like? Well, my deltas don't look like a whole lot of much anything. Oh, I got a D there for delta. That helped me out a lot, right? How the airspace just changes between the charts. And it's mostly because in the IFR environment, I don't need to hear the magic words cleared into Orlando's Class Bravo airspace, right? I'm on an IFR flight plan. So I don't need all those same things I need in the VFR environment, but it's a little bit of a brain twister in a way, how they just change that. I wish I was like there on the airport, FAA committee when they were making the colors for the charts and the symbology and stuff, but we weren't. So anyways, some fun stuff. Did you learn anything at all today? Leave me a comment down below this video with what you learned, or maybe you have some other great IFR low enroute charts, or even still VFR chart symbols you're confused about, or you came up on your check ride. I would love to hear about it. Listen, I hope you will come and see the MzeroA team at Oshkosh next week as well. Come on by. The team will be in Hangar B, Hangar Bravo. So look forward to seeing you all over there. Have a blessed, abundant, outstanding rest of your day. And most importantly, remember, the good pilot is always learning. Have a great day, everybody. We'll see you.